Hey everyone, and welcome to Day Job. I am your host, Code Marvelous, and to start out today's stream, we are going to talk a little bit about the Netrunner census put out by Reed Wilson. So there's a link that you can go to, which I'm going to drop here. And you can get the that's the deck list. Okay, I don't know why I didn't copy. So here is the census. And the goal of this census is to gather information about the community and what people got out of Netrunner and what some people's favorite cards are and different things about the community that you've enjoyed or think could be improved on. So it's really about kind of taking the pulse of the Netrunner community and seeing exactly where we are and where we'd like to go. It's completely voluntary. I'm not suggesting that you do it or not, but it's something where we can gather a lot of information that may be of value to Nisei. The questions are optional, so take a look, and if you want to provide some of this information to help us understand what made the kind of the lightning in the bottle, the special sauce that made Netrunner so incredible, check it out. I put the link in there, and you can also find it on Reddit or on the Facebook group. It's the Android Netrunner census. Check it out. All right, let us jump into play. So find ourselves a game and do it up right. We're going to be playing Cabanessa Wu today. Alright, is nobody launching games today? Okay, I guess nobody's launching games. Thank you for the sneezes, Balder. I'm good. I'm just tired all the time. It's like the opposite of that that Eddie Murphy song. I don't want to party all the time. I want to nap all the time. This is a very good-ish hand. Did I get the moddeds in here? I did. I also need a second source of link. Balder. How are you doing, Zarat's Games? I'm really just kind of like waiting for feedback filter to show up. Hey, Squawk. The you-faxolotl. Faxolotl. So we have Angolo, which is what I really wanted to test, because I think maybe that might improve the capabilities of this deck quite significantly. Let's run HQ. I know this is boring, but this is what this deck does. Cabanessa, woo! Wait, we can't do that. We have to undo that click, because we have to get our breakers down in case one of these is a viral weaponization. Look at all these single advanced cards. Right, let's go check that. Morning, Confus. Check R&D. Is that correct? Let's get back in there. Cerebral Overwriter, Gene Splicer, Miraju, Kakugo Hedge Fund, okay? Let's put down that. You know, I probably don't need casts in this deck. Or, I probably don't need Underworld Contacts in this deck, is what I meant to say. I could probably put in the fan site package, and that would just be better. So we're gonna take our sweet time. I'm guessing that's the other medical breakthrough, and the other one's already on the table. Yep. Which is a neat play that this deck can do. Right, so that has no advancement counters on it. So I am tempted to go check it out. Listen. Is that an Anansi? Well, 6 is a pretty cheap way to break an Anansi. Okay, get that out of here. Ooh, a Jeansplaza. Ooh, they're like, ooh, is it a bluff or a double bluff? You know what, let's check HQ. We've got our Universal Breaker in Angolo. I would like to see some of this money get spent. Oh, and that's perfect. We don't even have to access that. We can just keep hitting it. And then let's go R&D and access some cards. Keep it safe. Get rid of that Gene Splicer, get rid of that Cerebral Overrider, and win the game. Slow and steady, kids. All right. Alright, so let's take a look. One Earthrise probably isn't doing a lot for us. We can probably... Man, all these cards are good. And I'm trying to hard keep myself to 45 cards. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong card. Hand size is also good, so let's find ourselves another game. How's everybody doing this morning? Good, I hope. If you didn't catch it, we're finding our feet a little bit, but it was still a good legwork session for the Sprawl. We did our first session of Underworld Contacts last night. The first arc is called Hostage Situation. It went great. We're still finding our feet as far as like character voices and playing out scenes as opposed to just describing them, but it was good, and they came up with some really creative ways of solving the problem. What comment is that, Sanjay? Yeah, welcome, DT. But yeah, so the deck that we're playing right now is a rebuild of my Ubaxolotl deck for the modern era. They're also on YouTube, Breed, under the playlist Underworld Contacts. We had a great scene in we had a great scene with our cyberspace player, our hacker Analog, fighting some ice with a everything with Analog is themed as being like old, out-of-date technologies. So her icebreaker is like a hand crank minigun, and it ended up jamming, and some tracer ice started tracking them back to their home, and they had to force jack out. So Sprawl works off of a system where there's blue ice, which is basically like bouncer ice just trying to get you out. I've reskinned that as barriers. Red ice, which is looking to interrupt the programs and like interrupt and stun the runners so that other forces can find them in the system. I'm making those code gates since they usually have those additional taxes associated with them or additional benefits for the counter surveillance. And then black ice is trying to destroy the runner's deck or trying to do damage to them in meat space or digital space. And I've reskinned those as our sentries. All right. So let's go check that. Hopefully it's not like a ghost branch. Okay, and then we'll just pound the alarm. So like Analog, yeah, it's all into like retro tech. So her search program is a magnifying glass that spools like an old Windows loading icon. I don't know, I appreciate the retro aesthetic. There you are, beautiful. Alright, so now we're just going to keep pounding the button, and we should have a pretty strong matchup against Sync here. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where my players take the game. I also wish we could stop drawing Clot, that'd be ideal. Alright, so that one was actually the GFI, but now we're heading into a money advantage, and we can still summon... okay, so here's where we're going to start doing the thing. So we're going to put down Ngolo. We're going to stim hack that remote. Okay, and we lost Clot, which we probably weren't going to use anyway. But now they know we can threaten that server. Let's go into HQ, see what's there. Let's let the corp trace. Take that. And let's go in here. I don't want to spend my Ngolo cash on that, but I guess we're gonna have to, because they can just pour. Let's let them pour money into the trace. All this ice we don't have to break. So, the normal Sprawl system, James, does have like those old school cyber deck rules, right? Like what you would more traditionally associate with Cyberpunk, where you physically jack into systems. But what I'm doing is you know, because of the way that running is done in Netrunner generally, I am keeping the focus on analog kind of running remotely, which has its own advantages and disadvantages. Like, for example, I think because there's this sense that it's not like Shadowrun or the old Neuromancer where you have to like physically be on site to attack a system because you have to jack into that system physically. You know, our expectations of technology have changed a lot. So I'd say that what's going on a lot of the time is that analog is in their own location, and that has its own trials and tribulations, because if they get in trouble, like, the party isn't there. Does that make sense? Let's run R&D. Let's test the waters here. We got to keep our opponent poor. All right, we are going to change that. We're not. It does, but I think there's also this interesting note, these notes where, oh yeah, let's tear through a bunch of these duplicate cards. Perfect. We have to ditch something. Probably gonna be this Sakon at this juncture. Sounds like my daughter is awake. We got these like sleepy time clocks for my daughter to help her sleep, and now it's like this iron clad like covenant where she's like, but the clock says that I can be awake now. Why won't you let me wake up? Alright, so we're gonna get rid of one of these moddeds. And probably this SMC. Because we can't afford to overwrite anything that we've got going on. Yeah, very appealing. I think next turn we're gonna go for an indexing, and we'll just eat the trace on the way back. Oh, maybe not. We're gonna test the waters. That is looking very appealing, so let's put that down, and let's run R&D. But yeah. So we know that's there now, but we also know it's not anything more serious. We really need our other breakers to show up. Also, how is our memory so bad? Did I not account for something? Oh no, one of our breakers is a cloud breaker. That's what it is. Let's hit HQ. We have lots of money. We're probably not going to need that stim hack now. Well, unfortunately, we have to go check everything that goes into that remote. So let's go ahead and do that. Let the trace fire. If you want to self-vamp. Well, they are going to get the toll booth hit here. And knowing what... get rid of that just in case. Let's draw. Perfect. All right, we're gonna go get Shrike, and then we're gonna scavenge Shrike. And now we are full rig. I don't think they're ever gonna land a trace on us again, so we can ditch the misdirection. And we've got turning wheel. So I'd like to keep the stim hack just because we're at like a medium amount of credits. We're gonna ditch the other indexing. And now we are ready to rock and roll. All right. All right, let us hit this. Let us index. Let us prevent the when encountered ability. Let's break that. It's cheaper to use Ngolo. So there's the economic warfare. We don't want another Raven floating around, so we're gonna do it like this. Let's check archives, see if anything's in there. And then let's just money up. And we can sweep the hand. So let's hit HQ. It's cheaper to just let them run the trace and pay 3. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's use our turning wheel, see if we can close this game. No, but we can get to 5 points, which is nice. And then we're just gonna get money and maintain our lock. Let's run HQ and see if we get nice res. Jack out. Let's run HQ and see if we get a nice res. Jack out. Let's run HQ, see if we get a nice res. Now they're thinking about it. Jack out. I love this deck so much. It suits me. All right, let's go check R&D. What is the trace strength on this? We'll just break it. This should be it. No, but we will get rid of that NGO so they can't bait us into the remote with it. What I really like about this deck is the oh, look at these overdraws. Okay. So let's check archives first. Let's put that down. Let's check HQ. They just did a ton of overdrawing. I love Gutenberg. There it is. Good game, well played. HH. Unfortunately, this deck is disproportionately good against something like Sync because the traces don't ever really land. Alright, let's find ourselves another game. Too Real to Beal. Great name there. One of my favorite alts that I made was Too Jank to Bank. But yeah, let me actually, while we've got a little lull here, let me get the Underworld Contacts session video.
Oh,
that was loud. Sorry. Sorry, kiddos. This will probably start you where I was, but you can just jump back to the beginning. The weird thing where, but yeah. We're getting to a good place. I need to focus on facilitating more, like in character instead of saying what happens, like a third party like playing out what happens. But we'll get better. It was a strong first session. All right, let's get in there. Oh, James wants a piece. He's gonna see if I can stand up to the sports medal, which likely I can't, but we're gonna find out. All right, so we're actually gonna keep this hand. Actually, no, we're not, because I don't want to stim hack any of these pieces away. They're all too good. All right, that's a way worse hand. I wanted the other hand, but at least this has pieces I can lose, because I can go get SMC and then stim hack. Gotta trash all the cards. Can't let those stick around. Having Mopus down is absolutely mission critical for my deck, which is why I play Wu, so that I have the ability to tutor Magnum Opus, and by using Wu's ability to get an SMC and using a stim hack, or using it to get Magnum Opus and then using a scavenge. So I feel like that's probably an agenda. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have the ability to do anything about that one. But we can threaten Clot. Probably Hyperloop. Yep. So that's not the worst, as long as we keep working towards our board state of multiple lines of attack. One of the crappiest things is that Shrike is in our hand, so unless we get like a modded, we have to hard pay for it. Alright, so let's go check what's in server 4. That's probably a Jeeves. We'll check it. I I just really don't like that Shrike's in our hand. Cuts me deep. We're going in. That's what these stim hacks are in here for. To fight rush. Yeah, oh yeah, we definitely can't let a successful field test get scored. So we lost hunting grounds, which again is not super mission critical in this match. So we're doing all right, and we're maintaining tempo as best we can. And we still... my biggest regret right now is we don't have any draw engine. That's real bad. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, so... The Root. That's a card I have not seen in a long ass time. Oh, this better not be like a one-turn combo deck. That's so frustrating. But we have Clot Threat, so... Gotta get rid of all this stuff. Now that we have a source of link down, we can actually use Maxwell, which isn't insignificant considering the amount of money that James is on, and we probably should check HQ. Alright. So first things first, let's hit HQ. Get rid of Giordano DiGiorno Memorial Field here. It's probably going to be an NGO. Now a Rashida. Also a nice bait. Okay. We're actually probably going to overwrite this SMC now that I can scavenge. So let's talk about mission critical cards. Because we only have a max hand size of 4. Gosh. We've already lost... No, we haven't lost the turning. We don't have enough time for that right now. Okay, so it's gonna be like that, is it? All right, let's go into HQ. We got to get all this money spent. That really stinks. This is a really neat idea for a deck that James is doing here. I really like it. We gotta get rid of this root. We have to get rid of that. So that's what we're gonna do first. Yeah, I think we're screwed. We didn't get our code gate breaker down fast enough, and now we're completely fucked. We've never gotten to the point where we've just like had money. Right. Now the threat is real. Something big, I'm sure. Oh no, not even. Okay. Whatever, Bill. Get rid of that garbage. We're gonna trip for 4 next turn, bringing us back to 7. So we've got some threat here. This is probably the style of shaper I should be playing for Worlds. It's where I'm the most comfortable. I just need to work on tuning it up. Play my dumb runner prison. So we've got some drip going. So I'm pretty comfortable checking all of this. Oh, that's bad. Money. Root's doing a lot of work for him. We should go in there and get that. So we gotta go get that Sandberg. Sandberg Sports Medal. So what would be ideal here is if we could draw into our last stim hack. You gotta go get rid of that. And just maintain pressure. This is an exciting game, though. Nice back and forth. It's wild that we've just never had the free clicks or resources to get rid of that route. I just can't afford it. Like, I can't afford to take the turn off, the click and money to go get it. I mean, but that's what sports metal's all about, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, we got to get rid of that. Otherwise, it's gonna keep us from winning the game later. Now, there is another stim hack in here for us somewhere. Thank God for drips. I don't think we're going to be able to make it, my friends. I think this may be it. We had kind of a tough opening. Yeah. That's it. We couldn't quite get there. Maybe not. We just didn't turn the engine over, and no indexings, so no R&D pressure. Yeah, that's game. Well played. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out on this lovely, lovely Wednesday. Please check out the Netrunner survey, or the Netrunner census, I should say, by Reed Wilson. I put a link earlier on in the show notes if you track back to the beginning of the stream on the VOD. It's also just on Reddit. It's pretty close to the top, the Netrunner Reddit right now. Give us some feedback on what you really enjoyed about the game, and some of the features of the community that you appreciated, where you think there's room for growth, so that moving forward we can try to take control and stewardship of the community in a more thoughtful and educated way. Check out the Underworld Contacts first episode. Our first arc, Hostage Situation, is also up on YouTube. And until I see all of you lovely people again, always be running.